Wonderka EJ, welcome to my page again, Afam Bafam. I woke up a few days ago and I was informed that one of my very good neighbors, Mr. Brian, passed on. I felt so sad because Mr. Brian has been one of my greatest fans. A neighbor, each time he sees me recording in front of my house, he keeps saying, "Hello, how are you?" And when I'm done recording, we'll go ahead discussing. I felt shocked when Alante passed away, though he was quite aged. And this morning, his body is going to be brought to the street before going for the final funeral. And the neighbor told me that the way it is done here is that I'm supposed to get a flower if I'm quite close with him, perhaps get a card, sympathy card for the family, drop it at the doorstep, or hand over to the family. That is how I pay my last respect to the dead. This is quite different from what is done in my place. So I decided to come to the shop to pick a flower. I tried to look for a beautiful one that can represent the good-hearted Brian I knew before he passed on. I remember his smiling face, ever friendly. May also rest in peace. I saw this beautiful white rose. I felt it's quite befitting for the man Brian. Smells nice. I needed to get something else to add to the flower. Maybe a card. I needed to be patient and watch this video to the end. Perhaps you will learn something from it. So eventually I took a walk around the shop, heading to the point where they sell cards. Let me see if I can find any card that can tell me a little story or pass the message I have in mind for this man called Brian. So I got to the card stand. I tried to look out for the card. Searched for the card, looked around. I could see birthday card, I could see different cards. I'm actually searching for a sympathy card for the family. So eventually, I sighted one. I tried to pull it out. Behold, it's a sympathy card. Yeah, looking nice, beautiful color. Yeah, I felt this was good enough, though the inside was empty, but I need to put the words I have in mind for Brian. So this serves me. I took the cover and I had to leave. So I headed home to do justice to this card because I need to definitely drop it off before going to work. So I got home. I had this task of trying to fill this card. I needed to be careful with my choice of words. I needed to find a way to describe this man. I needed to find a message to pass across. It's a condolence message. It's a man I know I'm surely going to miss. I'm not going to see Brian again. I'm not going to see that my fan that always asks me, "Hello, how are you?" each time I stand in front of his house or I run my neighborhood with my front of my house to record. Brian is gone, and that is life. So my beautiful flower is here, nice rose. I'm glad I got this rose. I was able to put some nice wordings for Mr. Brian. So once I'm done, the next task will be to drop this card off at his place. Like I told you, his body is still going to be brought this morning to the house for the final visit before going for the funeral. So I had written here, I said, "Dear Mr. Brian, you were a good neighbor, a very good man, a jolly good fellow. So sad we lost you. May your soul find rest in the bosom of your Creator. Rest in peace, Mr. Brian. Rest in peace." So once I'm done, I returned the card to the envelope and I stepped out of the house. I needed to drop this card off at his place before his body arrives. So lucky enough, I walked towards his house and I saw the wife in front standing. Brian was a good man. I knew him just a short while. I live at 30 Drive. Yeah. So I felt it when I heard he left. Please just accept my condolences. Okay?
Thank you ever so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck with you. Okay? Sorry about that. Thank you very much. Moments later, his body arrived. Here is Mr. Brian lying in his casket. Surrounding him are the flowers from the neighbors. You can see mine at the extreme left. People stood in front of their house watching, same applicable to me. Only few family members, friends of the family, joined the wife, accompanying her into the car as they leave for the church service. Perhaps from there, they'll be heading for the final burial. So it was very emotional, losing someone dear to you. But unfortunately, you cannot blame nature. Mr. Brian has lived his life, and this is his final exit. I felt so sad because I wasn't going to see Mr. Brian again, my very good friend. But in this video, I want you to watch it to the end because I have something I want to teach you. I learned something and I wish to pass this message, because the style of burial here is different from what is obtainable in my own place, Nigeria. Just watch this video to the end. You will surely learn something. If it were my country, Nigeria, Mr. Brian's burial today would have been a capital project. Look at the number of vehicles with him. Just 2 cars, the ambulance and 1 other car. Look at the presence, family and few friends. As they leave here, they are heading straight to the church. From the church, they are going straight to his final place of rest. And burial is over. In my country, for example, I just buried my parents. My father died a year after my mom. It was millions of naira project. It is time we stop spending much on the dead. Rather, spend on the living. Let us learn from this. Very easy, very light, and very economical way of burial. Yet, the dead will rest peacefully. Rest in peace, Brian. Rest in peace.